Hey everyone, my name is Anders and today we are going to go over the Alchemy buffs and other quality of life updates for BDL and PC. As always, make sure to use the chapters to skip around to what you're most interested in. Now these updates were part of the Global Labs test server update last Friday, but we should see them go on live servers next week. They did go live this week, today actually in Korea. Last weekend we had the Asia Championship event that apparently went sideways and was bad enough for them to do an emergency stream to say sorry. Most of the issues seem to be server related, lag, desync. I was unable to see the VOD on the official channel since they have since made that live video private, but needless to say, it went poorly. They said sorry and are now working on making that event a better experience. What that means for us outside of the Asia region is that we may or may not see balance changes earlier, later. Though as of the making of this video, they are still planning on going ahead with this Asia Championship event in some capacity. Whether that delays our class balance updates or not, I'm not entirely sure, but it could mean that we also get more focus on server stability improvements moving forward for the game in all regions, but we'll just have to wait and see. No balance changes went live in Korea today, so it looks like we will still have to wait till November for the balance changes to go live in all regions. We should see more classes get changes this week, however, on test servers, so stay tuned for that. Regardless, let me know your thoughts on the matter, and let's get to the Alchemy changes that went live in Korea this week. That means next week for us. So Alchemy as a life skill is getting a major upgrade. Alchemy, compared to cooking, struggles with the acquisition of raw materials as one of the downsides of the life skill. So what they're doing is increasing that supply. Traces, for example, are now going to be more plentiful. Fruits, saps, all of these are getting buffs to the amount you can obtain. Traces from nodes will now give twice as many per worker cycle. You can see which traces we can currently get from the worker nodes at the moment. These will all be doubled in gathering rate by your workers. The only exception is Land of the Morning Light trace nodes. These will now give you 5 times more traces rather than just double. Prices for traces will also be increased to make them more valuable to those who are not interested in alchemy at all and want to just have some passive income by utilizing their workers and the worker empire, so that's good as well. Dalashan's auto quest for alchemy has also been improved. This will proc randomly while you're using an alchemy tool, and completing it will give you some experience and some traces, but now the amount of traces you get has increased by almost double. You can now gather for traces as well. Depending on the type of gathering you do, you will get a type of trace at a chance. Don't really know the rates just yet, but they are replacing the gathering trade items with these traces, so we can assume similar or better rates to the old gathering trade items. Gathering trade items will no longer exist in the game. They are being completely removed. Sap is another raw material that can be difficult to acquire, so they have gone ahead and increased the amount of sap you get from the worker nodes by about double on average. Maple and pine sap is around 150% more per cycle, and snowfield cedar sap is 500% more per worker cycle, which is huge. The amount of sap you get from normal fluid collecting is also increasing from 2 to 4 saps per gather at a base to 3 to 5 per gather rate. With 2000 mastery, they say you can obtain 15 to 25 saps per gather, which is pretty good. There will also be a new Afuaru event that will proc randomly as you gather for sap. If you interact with this Afuaru NPC, you will obtain a large amount of sap. It is unclear what you need to do to Afuaru, maybe just kill him or just interact with him like the other Afuaru events, but we'll know more soon. For farming, especially for fruits, we have some improvements. First, you're going to gain around 133% to 150% more fruit from farming than before, depending on whether or not the crop is a mysterious seed or not. These fruits are the fruits of nature, sun, crimson, those kind of things. You will also obtain fruit from co-gathering at a 170% higher chance than before, making them more common than they currently are, which again is a good thing. Mysterious Catalyst has also been improved to offer new exchanges for different powders needed in alchemy recipes. So 10 of these Mysterious Catalyst, which can be obtained randomly via alchemy, can be exchanged for 200 of your chosen powder or 5 shining powders. The byproducts that can be obtained via alchemy have also changed. They have deleted the flour, frying oil, spirit stones, gold ingot, and other miscellaneous byproducts, and have instead added the unknown seed, remnants of burnt spirits, alchemy stone shard, and dead tree essence as byproducts when you're crafting your alchemy recipes. All items you need for alchemy. So now when you're crafting alchemy recipes, you can get alchemy related items as byproducts. This new item, Unknown Seed, is being introduced. You can get them via alchemy at a chance as a byproduct. And when you do combine this item with one truffle via simple alchemy, you will obtain a truffle hypha for farming, meaning you can plant this. This truffle hypha is going to take up 10 slots in the farming fence and cannot be bred. When you harvest these, you will obtain a large amount of truffles. In addition, when you harvest these truffle hyphas, you will have a chance to obtain a white truffle, and these will sell for higher prices and will allow you to obtain a higher quantity of product when using recipes requiring truffles. They replace them 1-to-1, so if the recipe needs 3 truffles, you will want to use 3 white truffles. The example they gave us showed that you could obtain 25 to 35 elixir of sharp detection when using white truffle in a single craft. All of these items, truffles, unknown seeds, truffle hyphas, and white truffles, can be sold to the central market. They've also made thick Turo blood, Turo heart, abyssal essence, and remnants of burnt spirits tradable on the central market as well, which again is a good thing. Everlasting herbs will now be obtained at a 30% higher rate than before while hoe gathering. When killing sea monsters, you can now obtain whale oil and coral crystals at a chance. Snowfield cedar trees have been planted in an area northwest of Ilton. And lastly, elixir prices and alchemy material prices have been increased on the central market across the board. All of these changes look really strong for alchemy, though I recommend you buy up materials you need if you can before this update goes live next week, and then craft your recipes after this patch goes live to take advantage of the new byproducts and auto quests. For us this week, we really don't have much to talk about. We have the Halloween dice game event added, which will give us some free stuff, which is always good. It is a playtime challenge reward as well to get those dice, but nothing else to talk about there. We also have the deep sea mechanic and Aquila's guidance, which will help you sail much faster in certain areas, which is good. And you can now use a disembark function to teleport to the dock from your ship instantly. This was also improved in Korea this week, incredibly useful for bartering or doing sailies. The deck kit changes are now live. The cooldown on the lantern has been reduced to 60 seconds. The range of the lantern effect has also decreased. The CC from Dekia monsters has been unified to only be a knockback CC instead of multiple ranges of CC. Dekia Cyclops have reduced DP. Dekia Thornwood have reduced DP as well, have reduced drop rates for artifacts, have reduced respawn rates, and you can no longer use Agris here. Dekia Ash Forest Volcrus will be affected with a knockdown CC instead of a knockback CC, and Volcrus will no longer split after being killed. Olin's Valley normal respawn rates have been improved. Marnie Kurtsuga monster density has been nerfed by 35%, and they also introduced a new pet in the cash shop, but not much else. We have a late night stream this Friday with developers. They will go over the immediate updates coming to the game, most likely talk about the Asia event issues and some of the updates coming to the game in the next few weeks. If you are waiting on the larger announcements like a new class, maybe a new region, early December is when you can expect those, as that is when we'll have the next BDO event where they show more of the larger skill content coming to the game. Let me know your thoughts on the alchemy buffs. I think they are incredibly good for both longtime alchemists and even newer players looking to get into alchemy for the first time, or even players who just grind or PvP and don't care about alchemy at all. Just a straight buff to your passive income if you take the time to set up your workers and leave them collecting saps and traces. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.